My name is Julie Jagum, and I have a cold, so excuse me for sounding like I'm talking from the basement. The day of the fire, February 18th, 2016, we received a contract in the mail. That contract was with Bob Fern, an architect, to lead the much-anticipated renovation project for our church. It involved 3 phases: waterproofing the final wall of our foundation here on this side, upgrading the bathrooms and the kitchen, hoping to have a commercial kitchen. Needless to say, the fire changed all of that. Our first gathering after the fire was at First Lutheran Church, as you've heard. It was a time to cry and be held. We were invited to join the Faith Lutheran Church congregation for worship in the Lakeside area that very first Sunday. Several of us walked from this location to the new worship location that Sunday morning, carrying the communion ware to our temporary worship space. It was Camp Sunday that day, and our worship band and our youth brought enthusiasm and wonderful singing to that service. Pastor Carolyn Mochan said something like, "We prayed to fill the pews of this church, but not quite in this way." Welcome, Gloria Dei. We felt so lucky to be able to worship with the Faith congregation as they discerned their future ministry throughout the next several months. Meetings were in high gear for the council and the leadership, the former renovation committee, which was newly named the Moving Forward Committee, and other committees as well. In addition to figuring out about our rebuilding, we were also focused on continuing our ministry in this central Hillside neighborhood. We started looking at next steps by conducting a congregational survey to look at Gloria Dei's ministry in relationship to location and building. Our mission statement was a guiding focus during this whole process. It really is a reflection of who we understand ourselves to be as a congregation. It reads, "Empowered by Christ's love, Gloria Dei reaches out as an inclusive, welcoming church through worship and social action." Throughout this process, we were able to utilize resources from the ELCA and the Mission Investment Fund. From an ELCA resource on worship and Christian assembly that Pastor Bockelman had found, we learned about principles to consider. 1, liturgical design is an act of prayer. The process of building a worship space or reordering existing space is itself an act of worship. 2, the design process involves the whole community. The whole community of faith is involved in the process of designing and creating a new or renewed worship. Building is a matter of stewardship. Choices in its use of money, property, and other resources reflect a community's commitment to service and ministry. And 4, renewal of worship space encourages renewal of people. The renewal of a space for worship is an opportunity for the renewal of a worshiping community. The ELCA Mission Investment Fund offered a bridge loan, which we haven't needed to use yet. We're so lucky. And we were able to invest our insurance reimbursement funds with them during the rebuilding time, which generated income for us while we paid construction expenses. They also assisted us with a very successful capital campaign. Basically, throughout this discernment process, the congregation was unanimous in its desire to return to this central Hillside location and rebuild this building. We were also committed to go back to our desires with the renovation planning, to make sure we had better accessibility in the building, having an elevator that goes to all 5 floors, making sure that we had a narthex with enough space to promote conversation and connection, creating a more user-friendly and centralized space for our parish staff, and finally getting our commercial kitchen, which you can all see later today, that can be utilized by the community as well as the congregation. We processed back to this building in April on Palm Sunday this year, praying in gratitude as we came to several places along that 5-mile journey. We continue to live into this space and are still figuring things out, like where the name tag stand should be and where we should put our signs, which aren't up yet, as you can tell. There were several keys to our success at getting to where we are today. Inclusion. Although the Moving Forward Committee and the Council provided leadership in the rebuilding, participation was expanded through subcommittees and regular input during coffee hours and adult forums, so we could refine the design so it would use space efficiently, steward our resources faithfully, and reflect our ministry of service to God and neighbor. Terry Erickson, a Gloria Dei member who is an architect, worked with the congregation members in small groups to assess space needs and desires and integrate that information into the design process with Bob Fern, our contracted architect, who had a new contract. The Moving Forward Committee had been given authority to make decisions on the rebuilding within this structure and the support of the council. Communication was key, probably over-communication. Weekly updates after worship were held regarding the progress of cleaning out this building, updates on the plans for rebuilding, financial updates, and news about our continued ministry. We were so happy to be able to serve our free community breakfast just a week and a half after the fire in partnership with St. Mary's Star of the Sea Catholic Church, just a few blocks away. Quarterly parish conversations continued after worship, monthly articles in the day-by-day newsletter, and repeated opportunities for people to ask questions and give input. During our capital campaign, we held cottage meetings, hoping to get as many people as possible to attend and feel included in the rebuilding. The last key was focusing on our continued ministry. Care for one another and the community was always at the center of our guiding focus. Meetings were opened with prayer and our mission statement. Pastor Carlson reminded us in one of his letters, and I'm quoting this church renewal project involves more than building. It involves people growing in faith, reaching out, and becoming a dwelling place for God. Comes from Ephesians. We thank our amazing architects, Bob Fern and Gloria Dei member Terry Erickson, who assisted Bob, the general contracting firm of Johnson Wilson, the many, many subcontractors and construction workers that helped us grow and create this dwelling place. It was an honor to greet them and give thanks at a gratitude lunch we held for them last June. As the psalmist says, the Lord has done great things for us, and we rejoice.